Hi, I'm Gary White for Central Kentucky Television. I'm here with Audrey Hayden, and we're going to be talking about Barktown Rescue, which is centered out of Bardstown. We also have Charlotte with us, who is part of Barktown Rescue right now, right? How old is Charlotte?
Charlotte was born on December 21st at the shelter here in Nelson County. She left the shelter when she was 1 day old with her mom and her 5 brothers and sisters and came to Barktown. Several of her brothers and sisters have been adopted, and Charlotte was the runt, so she's been getting some extra TLC until she's ready to go to her forever home.
Okay, great. Well, tell us a little bit about Barktown Rescue, if you will.
Barktown was founded in 2009 by 2 of our volunteers who still work very closely with the organization, Suzanne Bridwell and Chrissy Foreman. And it kind of came from Suzanne's volunteering at the Humane Society here in Nelson County. Not everyone necessarily understands we have a Humane Society here and they have their own shelter where animals are available for adoption, but we also have a shelter building that is for strays, for owner-surrendered dogs and those kind of things. And the dogs in that building are not open to the public. They're not available for adoption unless an organization like Barktown or the Humane Society takes them and makes them available for adoption. So Suzanne was volunteering with the Humane Society, and they do great work, and we work closely with them still. And she was asked to go into the shelter to pick 3 puppies out of a litter of 6 to bring over for adoption. And then she went to the shelter, and there were 6 puppies and their mother, and she couldn't make that choice. So she actually networked those dogs and sent them to a rescue in Chicago, and from there realized that there was a need in the community that we could fill that was sort of a unique place, and so that's where Barktown was founded in 2009.
Okay, great. So Barktown is strictly volunteers, right?
That is correct, and we have people from all walks of life that work with us. Teachers, retired people, stay-at-home moms. We have a guy who owns a mechanic shop up in Louisville. Anyone and everyone that wants to help, we are more than happy to have their help. The thing that I think kind of unites us all is that we all, at the end of the day, love dogs.
Well, that's good, right, Charlotte?
She says, I think so.
Yes. So, how does Barktown work then? You send the rescues to foster homes?
Right. So basically, every week we check in with the shelter to see what dogs are out there. The way it works in Kentucky generally is that dogs that are strays have 5 days to be found, of course, by their owners. Hopefully, if their owners surrendered, they have a very limited amount of time to be placed somewhere. So we go out to the shelter and take as many dogs as we can every week, get them to the vet first, and then send them out to foster homes where they are cared for until they're ready for adoption. And the great thing about foster homes for us anyway is dogs that need a little more TLC, like Charlotte has, are able to get that one-on-one time, whether it's behavior problems or health issues. So it's a great setup for us.
So let's a little bit go into some detail you're talking about. So we have the Humane Society, then we have the Nelson County Animal Control Shelter, and then we have Barktown.
Right.
And they're 3 separate
That is
entities.
correct. And people are very confused sometimes by that. We all sort of, the Humane Society and Barktown sort of all fill that same niche. It's just that we do things, our foster home system, the nice thing for us is we aren't limited by the number of kennel runs we have. The Humane Society has a certain number of kennel runs and they keep them full and they keep dogs available for adoption. But for us, we're only limited by the number of foster homes we have. And we do work very closely with the Humane Society. Judy, the director out there, is very good to us, and we're lucky to have a strong relationship with them and the shelter.
Right. And we do want to mention in Kentucky, there are some what are called no-kill shelters.
That is correct.
And there are some that are where they do euthanize.
That's correct.
And Nelson County is It
is not a no-kill shelter. It is an open admission shelter. So they take everything. If you show up with a litter of 6 puppies that your dog had, they have to take them. Whether they're sick, whether they're strays, and they do have a higher, of course, than we would like euthanasia rate.
But that's what you're trying to help with.
And actually, since Barktown was founded about 3 years ago, the rate has come down about 50%.
Wow, that's amazing.
We've worked hard, not only, and it's not just Barktown, other rescues, we try and help place dogs through them, networks and pictures and try and get them placed. And there are some other rescues that will take some from out at the shelter too. So our goal, of course, would be for it to be a no-kill shelter.
Right.
We're not there yet, but we're certainly working on it.
But you can help to cut to that goal, right?
Absolutely.
If you're out there and you're seeing Charlotte here and listening to Audrey and I think that you could foster some of the dogs that are available, that would be a wonderful opportunity for you and for Barktown, right?
Yes, absolutely. You know, the great thing about fostering, and that's really how my husband and I got involved with Barktown. We adopted our first Barktown dog in 2011, and if you follow us on our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Barktown Rescue, you will see that from time to time we put out a plea with pictures of dogs at the shelter that we would really like to get out of there before they run out of time, and we post those, and that's how I got involved. They had a litter of Rottweiler mixed puppies out there that needed homes at 6 weeks old. And so we agreed to take one just to foster, of course.
Of course.
And a year later, he's still at our house. But, you know, fostering, and we do foster still. It's a great way, you know, not only to save a life, maybe to add to your family. You know, it's a great way to do sort of a test run and see how the new dog might fit into your family and go from there. But fostering is a great way to help. And we really work with people. You know, we have some people who have family members who have allergies, so they only get, you know, non-shedding, you know, poodle mixes and that kind of thing. You know, I'm a big dog person. I would die if somebody gave me a Chihuahua, but, you know, give me a pit bull or a lab or something, and I'm good to go. And we really do work with people to sort of make sure what dog we're sending to them to foster is going to be a good fit for any dogs they have or children, that kind of thing.
Right, and I'm sure you have dogs too. They'll help place that are, if you already have pets, dogs, or if you're a dog cat person, if you have some cats, they'll find dogs that kind of accommodate other dogs or other animals, right?
Sure. You know, I know that my dog, for example, my older dog loves female dogs more so than he likes male dogs. So I always try to keep, you know, females. And so, you know, I mean, some dogs, you know, maybe are overwhelmed by a dog bigger than them.
Right?
Oh, they're all fixed. Yes, of course. Of course.
You don't love them too much.
No, but they do like to cuddle.
Yeah.
But you know, we really try to accommodate what people are looking for. And sometimes people say, you know, I can help, but really only for a week. And that's actually really helpful to us because many of our fosters go on vacation, and we need somewhere to put a dog for a week or a weekend. And you know, any help is wonderful for us.
And just the more time for that pet too.
Absolutely, and that's the great thing about our setup is when we have someone applying that's wanting to adopt. You know, these dogs have lived in our homes. We've had a chance to observe them in a lot of different situations. So we can sort of help the adopter know if this dog is going to be a good fit for their home or not, just based on what we've seen in the time the dog's been with our fosters.
So we have foster opportunities available with Barktown. You also have adoption available, and as well as donations, of course.
Of course. We are a nonprofit organization. We don't receive any funding from the state or anything like that, so we rely completely on donations. They are tax deductible, so we always invite people to do that. At the very top of our website, we do have a button for PayPal, so that you can securely donate online using a credit card. You can always mail us a check to P.O. Box 1273 in Bardstown, Kentucky 40004. And besides, you know, monetary donations, we always need dog food. We need dog beds. You know, gently used linens. You know, sheets and towels and things like that. Puppy pads. I mean, anything you would need for your own dog at home, we can certainly put to good use.
Or sweaters.
Or sweaters for little tiny puppies like Charlotte. That's right.
Now, how large? What breed is Charlotte?
Charlotte's mom was a foxhound, which is sort of looks to me like a larger beagle, I guess.
Right, yeah.
And every single one of her puppies were just about solid black, like little Charlotte.
Wow. So
we suspect that Dad, who of course skipped town, was probably a black lab. And some of the other puppies in the litter were much, much bigger, maybe closer to 10 pounds at 6 weeks. Charlotte she's the runt, so I think she'll be fairly small, so she may end up being more like a 40-pound dog when she's done growing, so.
So again, we're talking about Barktown Rescue here in Bardstown, and what is that website to visit?
It is Barktown, BARKTOWN, rescue.org. And the website has a lot of great information. That's where you'll find our foster application, our adoption application, information about the dogs that are available and how to get in touch with us, and how to donate.
And how to donate, which is always important. So the dogs that are currently with Barktown, they're all like spread out. You don't have an actual location that you actually go to.
That
it's
is
all
correct.
fostering.
Right. So when someone's interested in that poses a challenge sometimes when someone's interested in a couple dogs or they're wanting to meet them. The way we sort of our process works is once someone applies, Charlotte's going to sleep here. She's not so interested. Once someone applies to adopt a dog,
happy where she is.
She's content. They can go. They go to our website, fill out in the application, and once they're approved, we'll set up a meet and greet with one dog, with 3 dogs, whatever they're interested in, so that they can kind of get a feel for which dog they think is going to be right. And of course, our fosters can really help guide them to which dog is going to be the right fit for their family. And we set up the meet and greet for them to evaluate and see if it's going to be a good fit. We'll even sometimes, if somebody's not sure, they might have cats, and we don't know how well the dog will do with cats, we'll even send them home for a 1-week foster to adopt sort of situation where they can see how it goes, and if at the end of the week that's not going to be a good fit, we'd rather know now than 6 months from now have the dog end up back with us. So.
Now, are there fees for adopting?
Yes, our adoption fee is $150 generally, and that includes spay or neuter surgery. Charlotte will be too small, but of course she can be adopted and be brought back for her surgery as part of the contract that is required. It includes all of their vaccinations, even for puppies, all the way through to their rabies vaccine. Heartworm testing, heartworm treatment sometimes, worming, all of the basic initial vet care that's required. And some dogs, of course, we may spend $1,000 on their vet care if they have some health issues. Their adoption fee is still $150. It goes to take care of all the dogs that we take in.
Okay. So again, it's barktownrescue.org. You can find out more information on both fostering and adopting, as well as donating. And I think you have some pictures there.
I did. I brought it with us here. These were pictures Suzanne. These were pictures that sort of Suzanne has put on her desk. She's a teacher, and these are pictures that I think remind her where Barktown came from and why it started. This is Gypsy and 2 of her puppies. This is the dog that Suzanne was inspired to start Barktown after placing Gypsy and her puppies into their forever homes. And so I think it's a good reminder to us of why we do what we do. There are certainly days that it's hard and it's heartbreaking, and I think that having something to hold on to remind you why we do what we do is always important.
Yeah, and you have something right there.
And I sure do.
Right. Someone right there. So again, it's Barktown Rescue. I've been talking with Audrey Hayden. And is there a phone number that somebody can call if they have some more questions?
We generally prefer emails, and the reason for that is a lot of times people have a very specific question about a certain dog, and I've met a good number of our dogs, but not all of them, and it's a lot easier for us to start with an email and then be able to direct them to where they need to go to get the answer to their question. So you can always send us an email at info@barktownrescue.org, and we can get you the right answer, send you to the right place.
All right, and also on Facebook at Barktown Rescue.
That is correct. And from our website, you can see our YouTube channel where we have some videos of the dogs and some other great information there.
Great. And you can get a dog just like Charlotte here.
You can even get Charlotte, actually.
Yeah, exactly. Charlotte's available too. So how many right now would you guesstimate dogs are available?
We generally have between 40 and 50. We've had a very busy month in January of this year with adoptions. So we may be a little lower, but we're getting back up there. We've had as many as 70 at one time. And we, like I said, as many foster homes as we have, we will place a dog there. We've been...
How many dogs over the years have you placed?
We hit the 1,000 dogs placed mark in the summer of 2012, and in 2000, in the first 3 years, and in the year of 2012 alone, we had about 330 adoptions. And we actually started off 2013 with a bang and had more than 1 adoption per day in January. So we'd love to keep that going and place even more dogs this year.
Fantastic. So, and again. We're actually out of Bardstown, as we said. It's Barktown Rescue in Bardstown, but you do place into the surrounding counties, correct?
Yes, and we've actually, we had a dog that went to, a husky, if you can imagine, to Miami this past summer. We've sent dogs to, Tennessee, North Carolina, Ohio, New York, and we actually have someone driving down from New York this weekend to meet one of our dogs and hopefully take him home. So we try really hard to work. If someone's interested in a dog, we will do our best to place them. But the majority of our adoptions come from sort of the central Kentucky region, the surrounding counties in Louisville and Lexington even. So.
Right. But if you're in Marion, Washington, or Nelson, you can take part with Barktown Rescue.
And we've actually have fosters in all of those counties, and we would love to have more. So.
Fantastic. So again, you can email info@barktownrescue.org, go to their website, barktownrescue.org, or go to their Facebook page, facebook.com/barktownrescue. And you can find out more information, and we'd love to see some people fostering, adopting, and donating.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. It was great talking with you.
Right. This has been Gary White for Central Kentucky Television.